Right, we've got a really exciting wheel to show you today. This is from Ascher Racing. This is the Artura Pro wheel here. It's a USB variant. We're going to run through it with you. If you've got a Fanatec base, or you've got a SimUcube base, or you've got a SimMagic base, or you've got a Fanatec base, or if you've got a moza base, which was the one we're going to do today, this should work with all of them. This is top of the range sim racing equipment, €950. We know that you've wanted to see us put our hands on something real top of the range. So here we are, Ascher Racing have sent us a loan unit. And my first thought when I got this out of the box, Sam, is that it is reassuringly heavy and it's cold to the touch because this is, I mean, looks like aerospace grade metals here.
100% German engineering.
It does, I think, say it on the back. This is made from Ascher Racing. If you haven't heard them, they're a German brand. They are very close with KW Automotive, which is a German automotive brand. And this wheel, we think, is used in the real McLaren, basically, or we could see on the front or the back of one of the boxes.
Yep.
It actually in a McLaren. So there's a lot of, this is blending that sim racing and real world that we see a lot more of these days with Jimmy Broadbent, Super GT. We've raced with both of them. They're winning races at the Nürburgring real life. So it's sort of coming together. Any first thoughts, Sam, on the Pro?
On the Pro, so the biggest, most visible difference on the front of the Pro to start off with is the additional 6 rotary dials.
Yeah, this is compared to the Sport version, which is about €700. This is $950.
Yeah. So you got the rotary dials, which are nicely positioned for your hands. None of them you're stretching out to get to them. You also got the rotary dials in the middle, which are obviously a bit different. You've got to take your hand off, but they're not ones you'll be changing consistently. It just feels quality.
Yeah.
It really does. It does. Interestingly, though, it's got the same type of grips as the Fanatec McLaren wheel.
Yeah.
Compared to my Fanatec F1 wheel.
I think, well, that's Alcantara, right? That
yes.
one. I think I've got grips. The Moza FSR is a wheel that's in the same budget as this one, maybe. It's about £600. It's got a sort of still artificial material. But yeah, the Moza KW, KS wheel, and the Fanatec G3 from McLaren, from Fanatec, do have the similar material on the grips. I think that is a similarity. Personally, I think that's where the similarities end, though.
Yes.
And if we go onto the back of the Pro, I mean, we've got an extra shifter, it seems.
Oh yeah, I mean, our German's not exactly very fluent, but with broken German, we've managed to establish clutch paddles, shifter paddle, and then another shifter paddle.
Double shifters.
I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
They feel the same. So it's not as if one's got more resistance than the other one. So they do have nice clicks.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments if you know why there's 2 shifters here.
I can't figure it out myself personally.
Just to show on the back of the Sport, you have I think you're ready to put the clutch paddles on. It doesn't come with the clutch paddles, and you've got the regular shifters. That, to me, it seems like there's a bit of, they've thought about adding some sort of noise dampening or something on the Pro. It just feels like you have that incredibly reassuring click, but it's not going to wake up your neighbours, basically. Connectivity, really important, Sam. So we're going to put this on in this video. We're going to show you basically live how to do it. We're going to put it on a Moza base, and then what would happen is there's a USB coiled cable which goes into the back of this here and plugs into your PC, very similar as you would see in real life with sort of the cable. So that means you'll have a USB cable from your base going into your PC and a USB cable from the rim itself, the wheel itself.
Still interesting about this USB-C.
Yeah, we're actually not sure what that USB-C does. We're recording this before this wheel is released, so we actually don't know what that USB-C on the middle is. So interesting. You can also get this wheel in the SimUcube wireless variant. We have here the Sport version in the wireless variant that will come with a antenna. And if you have a SimUcube base, it just means that you don't need an extra USB cable.
Correct.
So if you're on SimUcube, you're laughing. Sam, should we try and get this onto the Moza base?
We can give it a bash.
This has literally never been... Well, I don't know if it's been done before. It may not have been done before. This might be a wild first. So we have a Moza quick release that I've bought. We have the Moza R9. And we have here the Ascher Artura Pro racing wheel.
The Ascher wheel does also come with the hardware to fit a quick release or just straight into your hub, whichever way you want to do
Something I'm very interested about, Sam, is we've done this before on the McLaren rim that has holes in it.
it.
This doesn't have holes in it. So how are we going to do this?
I don't think we are.
Right. We do have... I have here this...
Oh, yeah, you got that as well.
Yeah. We have here a spacer here. Is the spacer going to be valuable in any way?
I'm just going to grab my fanatec. Okay, so on my fanatec rim, you can actually get to...
Because it's wider.
Yes, it's bolted from the outside.
And I guess that is potentially what you can do.
So just out of curiosity, if you grab your moza, just any one of them,
Yeah.
how they attach the quick release. So they're internal. And
This quick release goes through
so
the
they're
front.
internal and these are
Yeah.
external.
Yeah.
So
maybe we're actually going to attach an Assetec quick release. Because we also have an Assetec quick release here. So this is to show you what... I'm going to conceptually think about how to do this, a bit like Apollo 13, isn't it? So here we go. And this has a data connector.
I was wondering if that's what that USB-C was for.
Oh my goodness me. This feels like a... Speaking to microphone, like a... We've lost it. Man overboard. This feels like an incredibly engineered piece of equipment. When I give it to you, you'll see there is also some... That must be the quick release mechanic itself. I'm not familiar with Aztec equipment. Look at that.
All new to me as well.
I'm interested to see because the Ascher Racing wheel is so premium, and even though this Aztec also feels like it's come from like the space shuttle, but like you've got two different materials ultimately, how it's going to feel with that, or if it's going to feel like one thing on. But I'm already these wheels just feel reassuring, yeah, and quality. Like I said at the beginning, like you put it on, it's going to fit. There's no flex in the buttons at all.
I mean, I know I'm going to get slated in your comments. But I never thought of...
You can only slate if you're subscribed. If you're subscribed, you slate us.
I never thought of the Fanatec as being a cheap toy thing.
Yeah.
Until I've held these. And they are night and day different.
Yeah, it's a really difficult thing. I'll pull down the moza FSR here.
I'm just going to put this on my lap.
This moza FSR also has magnetic shifters. It has about 1 billion buttons. And it has a screen as well. But I know if I had to choose, and we're gonna compare these on the rig itself, but if I wanted to choose something for a 24-hour race, I'm choosing that every time. It just feels reassuring. The way I want to explain it is that I feel like when you have high quality machined precision engineering like on the Ascher wheel, you can just concentrate on the driving.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It just sort of will, in a way, just be a conduit. Whereas this is trying to sell it in a different way. This is trying to sell it in terms of you've got loads of buttons, you've got a screen, you're going to look at the screen. But that seems to be like it's going to be so reassuring to use. That is my sort of interpretation anyway. Got the sport version here. Interesting lineup as well because you do get an awful lot of the Pro in the sport. And it's pretty clear what you get extra in terms of the clutch paddles and the rotaries and the encoders. Some people will be fine without that. Some people will want it. So that seems to me how the product lineup works.
Can I just point out to you
that
additional weight now?
Oh, my goodness.
That just shows how much quality there is in that quick release.
Oh, that is heavy duty.
Yeah.
But that is made for big Newton meters of force.
I have only put 3 bolts in instead of the recommended 6.
This feels engineered that you just want to go and race it. I almost wanted to put it on a rig right now and race it.
One thing I did notice when I was doing that, though, with the Fanatec and with the moza, it's just a straight down.
Yeah.
By looks of this, it's a slot in, so you kind of pull back the trigger.
Oh, and then you'll go in.
And then slot it up.
Yeah.
Is how I...
So you need to have that clearance.
Yeah, and then at the top, you've got... not technical.
That's a proprietary connector, yeah.
There we go. He knows what it is. I don't know
Big words.
But big words. At the top, so I don't have the wheelbase. I've never seen one in person. I generally don't know. I assume you go in. So this is the wheelbase and slide it up.
Yeah.
And then it would connect here, and that's where you get your data from.
It's great for me to see. Again, this is going to be controversial, but it's great for me to see interoperability in the sim racing ecosystem. where Ascher are like, yeah, here you go. Here's how you connect the Assetec. And, it says on the box here that it's compatible. Whereas with your moza or fanatec, it's not, you have to have all these adapters.
Yeah.
And you're never going to get your fanatec, stuff going through digitally between moza and fanatec. But here it just seems to be ready and everyone's operating at a high level in terms of the equipment and the quality.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with everything you said there. Completely agree with it all. I've never taken a quick release off my fanatec. Have you done that on the fanatec?
No.
No. Is there a USB-C inside it? If not, how do you connect that wheel to the fanatec?
There is. So through the quick release of fanatec, because I've seen you could buy the quick release wheel side or wheelbase side, and it has a data cable.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So the pins.
Yeah.
The pins go through and they feed in
To a USB-C.
It's not USB-C. It's a proprietary one.
So
I think.
you need a different.
Something like that. Again, we're not experts here. We're coming up this sim racing journey basically, and we're sort of in awe of this equipment. Anything we can summarize, Sam? Now we've got the QR on it, and we have it in our hands. It's just this is the most premium piece of sim race equipment I've ever had, and actually, I've raced with the BMW M4 GT3 wheel from Fanatec, which is at the moment they're top of the range. They'll bring out the Bentley when it comes. That's €1,400. This to me feels more premium than that. I can't explain it. There's something very metallic about this and very sort of reassuring. And I wouldn't use it on a low Newton meter wheelbase. I think you need to have a strong wheelbase here because it is a chunky, solid piece of equipment.
It is. I mean, it is, like you said, it's just billet aluminium, machined, so you know it's sturdy. You know there's going to be no flex in that. The quick release, once again, absolutely solid, weighs a ton. Buttons will light up, obviously.
Yeah.
Did notice before, so the buttons, unlike the Fanatec, where they kind of like clip over the top, with these ones, you take off the screws, take off the little button plate, and then you change them.
They're not going to pop out either.
Exactly. It locks into place and it's not going to pop out.
Yeah, big thank you to Ascher Racing for sending over the Artura Pro McLaren wheel with USB. We'll get that on the rig and show you what it's like on the rig, but we want to do it justice here in the studio because pretty phenomenal pieces of equipment that I think if you do buy them, and I'd always recommend trying out equipment where you can before you buy it, but when you come to buy it, I feel like it's going to be a Christmas moment when you open it that it's like, this is a proper piece of equipment.
It's a Christmas moment for us.
Yeah. I feel like they've really looked at this before they've put it in the box as well, if that makes sense. And they put it in the box like this is going to go to a customer who's really going to enjoy it. There's not a mass market, mass produced piece of equipment.
And this is for me, yeah?
Yeah, that's your. I'll send the sport one. Now, these are loan units. I've got to send them back. But so I'll take that quick release off. But thanks for joining us. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more. We're going to use on the rig, and we'll see you next time.